a choice. The whole world is just beginning. We already won. It's about us all. So many beautiful deep divers here.
You are now in the mix.
Okay, let's start the show with this catchy tune.
How you feeling today, deep divers? Starting off the show right with that high energy. Let's go. Just warming up right now, deep divers. Just want to have a good time right now. Oh yes, wonderful deep diver. Shout out to everyone who's here. Let's get this started right now. Greetings, wonderful deep divers. Shout out to everyone who's here. Let's breathe. I said let's breathe, deep divers. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. What are we doing right now, deep divers? What do we do on Infinite Waters every single day? Every single day. Take that good ass energy. Raising the frequency. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers of planet Earth. Peace, Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. So deep divers, first and foremost, let me shout out to everyone who's here. And we got a lot to talk about. I just put out that video on Shanquella Robinson. And you know, a lot of people in the comment section, over 500 comments already. So I'm like, we got to go live on this. This whole concept of frenemies, right? Shanquella Robinson, the sad tale. So I put out that video so you could be up to date with that story, right? But before we start, once again, make sure you check out that amazing best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book. #1 best-selling book. Go and check it out. Also, the Good Ass Prana shirts, ralphsmart.com/clothes. Deep diver. Shout out to everyone who's here, everybody who's diving deep. So we're going to have an interactive chat about this, right? How to spot frenemies. You know, a lot of people you call friends aren't actually friends. A lot of people that you call friends aren't actually friends. Make sure, deep divers, make sure you hit that like button, share the video. Hit that like button, share the video. And a lot of people always say, Ralph, I want to send you a message. Add me on Instagram at Ralph Smart. That's the place, deep divers. So shout out to everyone who's here. Like I say, I'm not going to waste time today because so much is happening. So much is going on right now. So much is happening. And I had to bring light to this topic because I came across this story and I'm like, I got to do a video on this, right? And it is all about frenemies, how to spot frenemies, right? Once again, deep divers, hit that super chat, get your message featured on infinite waters. Hit that super chat. Give thanks. Let's start off the show with gratitude. So I came across this story. And let me just recap this story, okay? For those that don't know, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know about this story, right? But it's a very important story because it's a story which is going to affect you. You know, a lot of people have friends who aren't really friends. They're enemies. They're frenemies, right? So Shanquella Robinson, 25 years old, went to Mexico with her friends and she didn't come back. They beat her up, broke her neck, and it's a tragedy. And her best friend was filming it. Her so-called best friend was filming it. So when I put out that video, and go and check out that video after this, 29 minutes long, right? It was a deep dive. But if you really want to spot frenemies, according to a psychologist, according to a deep diver, you really have to remind yourself of this, deep divers, that many people in your life who you call friends are not your friends. They are your acquaintances. And that's why I always tell you, be careful of your circle before they hurt you. Be careful of your circle before they hurt you. Because you see, what it boils down to is there is no such thing as, oh, that's my best friend, that's my great friend. No, they've got to prove it. People in your life have to be worthy to be in your presence. Not everyone who says I'm a friend is actually your friend. Shanquella Robinson thought she had friends. She thought she had protection. But her best friend, Khalil, was filming her demise. And that's terrible. And this is what happens a lot of the times. People who we trust can betray us. And this is what happened with Shanquella Robinson. What did I say? I said this. Listen closely, deep divers. Newbie, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button. Share the video with a friend. So I said this, deep divers. You see, you've got to watch out for people. Surround yourself with people who have something to lose. That's what you have to do. Every single day, surround yourself with people who have something to lose. Surround yourself with people who have something to lose. Because a lot of people don't have anything to lose. A lot of people haven't manifested. A lot of people are on demon time. A lot of people don't love themselves. They don't like themselves. And if you surround yourself with these kinds of people, it's only crabs in a barrel. It's only crabs in a barrel. And this is the reason why every single day you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who make you feel like sunlight, but people that you can trust and people that you've known for a long time. You see, Shanquella Robinson didn't have the right people around her. She thought she did. And this is the reason why in life you need discernment. You see, her so-called friends betrayed her for 30 pieces of silver. And these people look like regular people. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not that you're going to meet people who look evil or who look bad. People can look just like regular people. But you see, when push comes to shove, monsters can come out. And this is the reason why every single day you have to make sure you protect your energy. You have to make sure you're around people that you can trust. I said this, deep divers. This whole story, when I saw the father, I said, okay, this is terrible. This is terrible just to see this man's grief, his frustration, and he lost a daughter. And that's the thing. A lot of people are so disconnected to say, oh my gosh, that's someone's daughter. Could be your daughter. Could be your daughter, right? So we got to remind ourselves that a lot of people are so disconnected. And, it's a story which I said, hey, I've got to dive into this because it's a story where so many people are being affected by. Once again, deep divers, make sure you hit that like button, hit that super chat. Let's start off the show with gratitude, deep divers. Like I said, I just put out a 29-minute video. Make sure you hit that super chat, leave a comment of appreciation, give thanks, because like I say, Shanquella didn't have support. And when you don't have support, it's going to be hard. When you don't have the right people around you, it's going to be hard. One of the things you've got to remind yourself of, deep divers, is that when we talk of spotting frenemies, remind yourself of this. Stay away from people who don't clap for you when you win. Stay away from people who don't clap for you when you make it. And that's the first sign to spot a frenemy. If you're around a whole bunch of people, they're not clapping for you, you want to run away. And like I said, you've got to remind yourself, a lot of people, you don't know them. You think you know them, you don't know them. Because we meet a lot of people from time to time, but we don't really know what's going on inside. Like I said, on the outside, people can be smiling. And I went into depth in this story. One of her friends, Diogene, was smiling in her picture just there. But she was able to do a horrendous act. And this is why I told you that a lot of the times you have to be mindful of this. That sometimes people can smile, but that doesn't mean they are to be trusted. Because a lot of people are hurting. And that's the problem with today's generation. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are going through all kinds of things. And they're going to take it out on you. And this is what happens time and time again. A lot of people take out their frustration on you. A lot of people take out their frustration on you. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Once again, hit that super chat. I haven't seen anybody hit the super chat. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like I say, I'm only here because of gratitude. I said, let me go live. Let me share with the deep divers. But like I say, Infinite Waters is highly sought after. Highly sought after. So like I say, if you want the live streams to continue, you have to support the show. You have to hit that super chat. There are people who are talking about killing other people who are getting 100 super chats in 60 minutes. So that's why I always tell you, I don't mind. I'm already wealthy. I've already made it. But we have to remind ourselves of gratitude. We have to support those who are doing the work. Because like I told you, for me, it doesn't matter. But you have to remind yourself, there's no such thing as a free lunch pass in the universe. There's no such thing as a free lunch pass in the universe. See, all of this thing here, had to pay for it. Right? So I want to remind you, deep divers, I love going live, but if you want these lives to continue, you're going to have to hit that super chat. You're going to have to start saying, thank you, Infinite Waters, for changing my life. Right? Because I'm not a dummy. There's a reason why I've got over 2 million subscribers. There's a reason why I've got over 2 million subscribers, because if I didn't put value on what I was doing, I would only have 2,000 subscribers. What happened? Well, we're going into this story right now, because like I always say, I don't want to have to do this, but I have to give you this story because you've got to remind yourself of why gratitude is important. If I didn't put value on Infinite Waters, I wouldn't have over 2 million subscribers. And I got to thank my mentor for teaching me that. To say, Ralph, put value on what you do because it's important. Hendrix Purcell, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Ralph, put value on what you do because it's important. And I said, really? He said, yes. And this is the whole secret. You see, when you put value on what you do, you're learning the art of manifestation. You're learning the art of manifestation. James Alman, you are appreciated. Much love to you. Ralph, your messages and all you give is greatly appreciated. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here. Like I always say, it's all about that gratitude. Because you see, this is one of the reasons why we can go into this story, Shanquella's story. Those people didn't have any gratitude. That's what happens. They didn't have any gratitude for her life. They didn't have any gratitude for life in itself. And that's what happens when you walk around with a lack of gratitude. You become like these people. When you walk around with a lack of gratitude, you walk around with these people, monsters inside of you. And that's why I always say, every day we've got to remind ourselves, we got to start off the show right. Because a long time ago, I had to learn gratitude. That's why I can put out a video, 29 minutes on this topic, then say, let me go live, because I realized that a lot of people need this information. A lot of people, over 500 comments on the new video. And me going live is only a bonus. Me going live is only a bonus, deep divers. But we've got to start the show off with gratitude. We must start the show off with gratitude. Because like I told you, this is the secret of everything. We must not take things for granted. We must not take people for granted. And I always encourage you, deep divers, you better know your worth. You better know your worth. This is the reason why there's so much chaos on the planet, because people don't know their worth. People don't know their worth. This is the reason why there's so much problems in the world. Because people are walking around with a lack of gratitude. When you walk around with a lack of gratitude, you have no respect for anything. You don't know the value of anything. You think, hey, it's just supposed to come. But if you're someone who knows that actually it takes time to create, it takes time to set up, it takes time to do all of this, then you say, wait a minute, let me hit a super chat to Ralph Smart. Let me hit a super chat to Ralph Smart for inspiring millions of people for over a decade. I'm feeling myself, deep divers, because like I say, I had to learn the secrets. I had to learn the secrets from my mentor to say, Ralph, you better know your worth. The moment I started to realize my worth, I started to manifest. So I always say, whenever we start these live streams, let's start off the show with gratitude, deep divers. And like I say, don't say it. When I saw this story of Shanquella, I said, okay, that's terrible. That's terrible, but that's not enough. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. What are you going to do, Ralph? What are you going to do about it? You know what I did? I said, you know what? I'm going to make a video on Shanquella that can be seen by millions of people over time. And that is a great contribution. I didn't just talk about it. I said, let me help in a big, big way by spreading awareness of this topic. Because a lot of people need to know about this story. We don't want to sweep this one under the rug. We don't want to sweep this one under the rug. But like I told you, we got to support the people who are doing it. Shout out to everybody who's diving deep. Everybody who's diving deep. Alex, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Thank you for doing what you're doing every day. I left some very toxic relationships in another city about a year ago, and I've been evolving into my true purpose ever since. Your book reprogrammed my mind and saved me. Hey, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Right? Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who's here. So, Shanquella Robinson, How to Spot Frenemies, a Psychologist speaks. You know, as a psychologist, deep dive is also a criminologist. I'm always here to remind you that nothing is more complex than the human mind. You see, love and hate are one in the same thing. When you say I hate something, it's closely related to love. When you say I love something, it can be closely related to hate. This is the reason why Shanquella's best friend, Khalil Cook, he probably would have said, I love Shanquella. But you see, he was filming her demise. So to spot frenemies, don't be fooled by people who tell you they love you. Don't tell me you love me, show me. I'm never fooled. I'm never fooled by people who say, Ralph, thank you for your videos. No, I want to see you show me. Hit that super chat. Hit that super chat. Hit that super chat. Don't tell me, oh, thanks for your videos, Ralph. Show me. Support the channel. If you want to see more live streams, support the channel, because that's what it's about. Don't tell me you love me. Show me. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Don't let him tell you he loves you. Let him show you. Hello? 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 So, Sylvia Lopez, you are appreciated. We love you, Ralph. Diving deep with you. Shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody who's diving deep. Everybody who is here. You are truly appreciated. So, like I said, I want to read your comments. I want to also hear from you about this whole topic. Kevin Benjamin, you are appreciated. Hey, Ralph Smart, what's up with these female artists? Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who's here. Reading every single super chat, every single comment. We just started Deep Divers, and we're starting off with gratitude. Because Ralph Smart knows his worth, and you better know your worth. Because when you know your worth, you carry yourself in a whole different way. When you know your worth, you carry yourself in a whole different way. Tara Newton, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here. Everybody who's diving deep, making sure I read every single one who's supporting this live stream. Red Apple, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Tons of gratitude from Stardust Diamond and I to you are a mentor, giving to you, mentor. Giving thanks, Ralph. Gratitude for being here for us every day. You are truly changing my life. Sending tons of love to her family. So sad. Yeah, it is. It is. And shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. And it's a story which has a great lesson inside of it. You know, sometimes when terrible things happen, we often find ourselves thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And it is terrible. But the only win is learning from the lesson. That's the only win. Newbie, you are appreciated. Shanquella was only 25. She went to Mexico. She thought she was going to have a great time. But little did she know that she wouldn't come back home. And when we take a look at this story, there's a lesson to be learned, how to spot frenemies. I'm sure if Shanquella knew that she wouldn't make it back home, she wouldn't have gone. These people look like ordinary people. And that's why I told you, anybody can be a monster. You can have the prettiest smile. Anybody can turn into a frenemy. You can have a best friend for over 30 years. But you see, if you're not careful, that friend can sell you out for 30 pieces of silver. Poker face incognito, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Expect more super chats in the future from me, Ralph. Hey, you are appreciated. My whole family watches you and we love your energy. Shout out to you. You are appreciated. Julie V, you are appreciated. Shout out to everyone who's here, everybody who's diving deep. Oh, we got a whole lot to talk about, deep divers. How you feeling today? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that like button. Share the video. We just started. So this is Daniel R. You are appreciated. Shout out to you. This is what happens. Many times people look ordinary. And for you to really spot a frenemy, you have to give them the frenemy test. What is the frenemy test? You have to give them the test of time. That's the frenemy test. You got to give them the test of time. A lot of the times we meet someone, but we don't know their history. We don't even know where they've come from. And that's why I told you, surround yourself with someone who has something to lose. I don't think you heard me. We can say it again. Let's do a rocket blast. Let's do a rocket blast, deep divers.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rocket blasts. I said surround yourself with people who have something to lose. This is how to protect yourself from frenemies. Because people who don't have anything to lose, they'll do you dirty. People who don't have anything to lose, if their life is not going the way they want, they'll do you dirty. Shanquella had two businesses, a clothes business, a hair business. She's 25. She's an entrepreneur. She's doing good for herself. Now, you see, when you're shining, she even looks like a ancient Egyptian goddess right here. When you're shining, other people get intimidated if they aren't on that same frequency. And this is what happened here. These people weren't doing any good in their own life. They knew it. And when you're a shooting star and you're around people who aren't on that level, you become a target. And that's the reason why I told you, highly successful people keep their circles small. Highly successful people keep their circles small. They don't mingle with foreign crowds for a reason, because they know human beings are crazy. I'm a psychologist. I'm a criminologist. Jeffrey Dahmer looked like a regular guy. He was eating people. And that's the reason why you got to do the energy scan. Anytime you meet someone, you got to do the energy scan. You got to scan their energy to say, who is this person? Who is this person? Who is this person? Frenemies, how to spot frenemies, deep divers. One of the things I want to remind you of is that when we talk of this whole concept, frenemies, Shanquella Robinson, the sad tale, we have to remind ourselves that many times people smile in our face. Many times people smile in our face. You have to ask yourself, do they have good intentions? And do they have something to lose? What have they got going on in their life that's precious to them? If you're around people who haven't got anything to lose, you better let them go. I said, if you're around people who don't have anything to lose, you better let them go, because they're going to take you down with them. It's crabs in a barrel. And that's the reason why you got to remind yourself, not everyone can go. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. Not everyone can go. Not everyone can go. Not everyone is welcome. Not everyone is welcome. They got to pay their dues. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart. I mentioned that. Not everyone is welcome. Remind yourself, deep divers, some people don't deserve to be in your presence. Some people don't deserve to be in your presence. Some people don't deserve to be in your presence. And that's the reason why when I saw this story of Shanquella Robinson, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Because she really believed she had a best friend. That's the sad part. She thought she had nothing to worry about because Khalil is there. He's my best friend. Little did she know that was the same guy filming her demise, saying, aren't you going to fight back? He didn't love her. He didn't care for her. Why? Because he didn't even care about himself. And that's why I tell you, it is, you got to remind yourself, it is, and let me shout out to everyone who's here in the chat. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Someone said, Ralph, thank you for this live stream. I appreciate it. And then someone else said, don't do too many live streams. See, that's the frenemy. They want to stunt your growth. Beware of people like that. Beware of people like that who are trying to limit you. I don't do enough live streams. I don't make enough videos. I'm an OG in the game. Like Birdman said, you better put some respect on my name. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You see, let me give you an example, deep divers. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example right here. So let's go into a dream scenario. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. How you feeling today? Mecca Ann, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. So let's go into a dream scenario. And this dream scenario is that you, yes, you are doing big things. Deep divers, I want you to tell me all the things you're doing right now in your life. Just write it in the chat. Let me know about your manifestations. Let me know what you've got going on. I want to hear it. Just write it in the chat. Say, Ralph, I'm starting my own business. Ralph, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I want to know. Because I'm going to use one of you as an example. I want to be blown away. Ralph, I'm owning my own gym. Okay, let's talk about it. Ralph, I'm an author. or 5 best-selling books. I want to hear your success story. Let me hear anyone's success story right now who's doing it big, or anyone who's on the path of doing it big. I want to hear. If you are in the path of manifestation, of doing it big, of living your best life, tell me what you're doing. You're finishing up my BA. That's big. That's big right there. Shout out to you. Because I always say, get your education, deep divers. Get your education if you need to. I'm creating my first cookbook. That's what's up. I own a successful business and married my soulmate. Hey. Okay. Levon S. Handsome, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Let me just bring your comment up. So many wonderful deep divers who are here. Deep divers, hit that like button. Hit that super chat. Levon S. Handsome, you are appreciated. Thank you for that. So, I'm still reading it. I'm still reading. Tell me what you've got going on, deep divers. Finding the cure for Crohn's disease. That's what's up. Starting my LLC for myself. Wonderful. Loving everybody. Fantastic. Married the love of my life. Woo! That's big. And that's the thing, deep divers. We can take a few examples. Retired, living in the Caribbean. That's fantastic. I found a new job on my research. Still searching for me. That's good. I got your book and read it. Great book, Ralph. Shout out to you. So I'm hearing a lot of success stories. I'm feeling inspired right now. I'm happy for you. You know why I'm happy for all of you? Is because I'm already in abundance. I'm happy for the one who said I married my soulmate. That makes my heart sing. I'm like, yes, that's amazing. I'm happy for the one who said I'm starting my LLC. I'm like, yes. I'm happy for the one who said, I'm studying for my BA. I'm like, yes. I'm excited. And the reason why is because that's what happens when you are someone who is already there and in the process yourself. Deep divers, you clap when people make it. You clap when people make it. But let's just say you're not there. What happens? You're not clapping right now. You're not happy right now because you are in the presence of a star. And a lot of the times people can't handle your shine. We call these people frenemies. And this is the unfortunate situation Shanquella Robinson, the sad tale that Shanquella found herself in. She thought people were going to be happy for her. Instead, she became a nuisance, because when you are outshining people, unless they are holding a torch, they're not going to be able to take it. And that's the reason why I told you to spot frenemies. Just pay attention. I know a lot of you know people. Just say, hey, I'm starting my LLC. Hey, I'm finishing off my PhD. Hey, I'm starting my own hairdressing business. Just see what they say. Some people are going to be like, that's what they're going to be like. Yeah, I just won the lottery and everything is good. And, You know, I just met my dream partner and we're moving to the Caribbean. They can't take it. They can't take it. The reason why they can't take it is because it intimidates them. What happened with Shanquella Robinson is that her so-called friends, which were actually her frenemies, became intimidated by her success. They became intimidated by her success. They became intimidated that she was confident and sure of herself. And this is what can happen in life. And that's the reason why don't think that this is just a story. It's actually happening in your own life on a different level. You have people just like these. You think they're your friend. In actuality, they're your frenemy. And this is the reason why every single day you want to remind yourself that you want to surround yourself with people who have something to lose. You want to surround yourself with people who have a wife, 5 children, because they don't want to get locked up, because they got babies to feed. You want to surround yourself with someone who's doing something big in life. They got something to lose. If you surround yourself with people who don't have anything to lose, they're going to take you down with them because their life to them is worthless. And this is what happens with the psychology of frenemies, is that a lot of people who have nothing to lose are dangerous people. Nipsey Hussle did a lot for the community. And I went to his shop. I lived in LA for many, many years. He did a lot for the community. But you see, frenemies are watching you, realizing they can never be you. And this is what irritates them. And you have to be mindful that people are hungry. People are hungry. And this is how you really begin to spot frenemies. I'm aware people are hungry because I'm an intuitive Pisces. I can already scan people's energy. And I know that human beings are sick. A lot of human beings have not even had therapy. They need to go to counseling. I'm a psychologist. I'm a counselor. I'm doing the work every single day. What about people who aren't doing the work? Do you think that the human brain, the subconscious mind, is something easy to deal with? Absolutely not. It takes a lot of work to work on yourself. You see, all of these people, if they had had a Ralph Smart counseling session, they wouldn't have done what they did. If they had had a therapy session, they wouldn't have done what they did. This is what happens when you don't work on yourself. When you don't work on yourself, you take your anger out on other people. And that's the reason why I always say the most important thing you can do is learn about yourself. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. I had therapy already. I already had therapy, right? In university for many years. I was having therapy. I was being a psychologist at the same time. And I said, oh my gosh, there are some things about me I didn't know. My shadow side, right? But it was all beneficial to making me who I am today. So you got to remind yourself that people have to do the shadow work. And in this case of Shanquella, it's a sad story because she wasn't with strangers. That's the whole thing. She was with friends, supposedly, her best friend. And this is why I tell you, don't be so quick to say that's my best friend. Because like I told you, a lot of people, if they see that you are becoming a success, if they see that you are becoming a success, they can't take it. If they see that you're going places in life, they can't take it. A lot of people get intimidated by your success story. And that's the reason why a lot of people who really have it, they just roll low key because they know what human beings are like. Right? You won't even know they've got it because they know that a lot of people can't handle it. But this is a story as well that I'm here to remind you, continue to shine. You came here to shine. Don't dim your light for anybody. Don't dim your light for anybody. You got to remind yourself, you do yourself a disservice when you dim your light to make other people feel comfortable. All we have to do is make sure we are around the right crowd of people. That's all we have to do. All you have to do is say this: if you are not helping me evolve, you're a distraction. If you are not helping me evolve, you're a distraction. You see, the people who helped Infinite Waters manifest the YouTube Gold Award, I didn't know they were my friends. Let me repeat that, deep divers. I said the people who helped Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, manifest the YouTube Gold Award, I didn't know they were my friends because my friends weren't helping me manifest the YouTube Gold Award. They were saying, hey, Ralph, let's go to the club. Let's do this. Let's do that. They were distracting me. But my true friends, I didn't know they were my true friends. They were my mentors. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that super chat. My true friends were my mentors. Because the people I thought were my friends, they weren't helping me. I was hanging around them and I was still stuck. And that's what's happening in a lot of people's lives. People you call friends are actually frenemies. They don't want you to do good. They don't want to see you make it. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you win. Why? Because this is an old age story from Cain and Abel. Even in the Bible, they tell you about it. Even if you don't believe in the Bible, all ancient scriptures talks about this battle from the Vedas to the Enuma Elish. They talk about that there are two forces on the planet. Just as you are doing good in life, other people are doing bad. Just as you are succeeding, other people are failing. So you always have to take that into consideration. Just as you're making it, some people are making a mess out of it. Now, they might look at you and say, oh my gosh, I don't like that, because you're holding up a mirror to them. This is the psychology of frenemies. This is the reason why, like I told you, we are celebrities, but let's just say it for the sake of saying it. Celebrities, people like Jay-Z, Beyonce, you don't see them around everyday people for a reason. They don't hang around with everyday people for a reason. Why? Because they know that a lot of people have nothing to lose. they have a lot to lose. So it doesn't make sense. That's why people with money hang out with people with money. That's why successful people hang out with other successful people. It's the law of the universe. And you must respect it. And that's the reason why you have to know how to move. Takeoff from the Migos, he was with the wrong crowd. And that's why I told you, you think they're your friends. In actuality, they're your frenemies. So shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Oh, we're diving deep. We just went straight into it. And that's the reason why I tell you, every single day, take a look around at your circle. Take a good look around at your circle. Like this. Like that. Look high. Look low. And then you got to say, is this a circle? Or is this a cage? Because a lot of you have people you call friends, but they're actually stopping you from being who you really are. That's the trap. When I was starting Infinite Waters, I had to realize this, that I was diving deep. Some of my friends were saying, what on earth are you doing? Doesn't make sense. They were trying to hold me back from being great. And that's why I told you, my greatest friend was the friend I didn't even know I had. Let me repeat that. My greatest friend was the friend I didn't even know I had. That was my mentor. That was my mentor. That's my best friend. Right? Who is my best friend? My mentors are my best friends. These are the ones who've changed my entire life. These are the ones who've changed my entire life. They took me from rags to riches. My mentors did, not my friends. My mentors did. Right? My mentors did. My teachers did. They are my best friends. And when you have this knowledge, everything changes. This case of Shanquella is heartbreaking because we've got to remind ourselves they tried to cover it up. And I told you, to spot frenemies, you're always going to realize that they're never going to take accountability for what they're doing. They're never going to take ownership for what they do. They throw rocks and they hide their hands. They throw rocks and they hide their hands. You see, this is the psychology of it. So Shanquella said, no, I don't want to fight. And she didn't do anything. She didn't fight back. She stayed her ground. But what did the other people do? They left Mexico. Roadrunner time. Roadrunner time, deep divers. That's what frenemies do. That's how to spot a frenemy. When it gets too hot, Roadrunner time. We got to run away. They're on the run right now. They can't even be found. Roadrunner time. And this is what happens with frenemies. They don't take accountability. And they're not honest. And that's the reason why they can't show their face. And that's the reason why all of these people, they're nowhere to be found. They're on the run. Because they know people in their own neighborhood are looking for them. And this is what happens with frenemies. It's called karma. Karma has no menu. You get what you deserve. Karma has no menu. You get what you deserve. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Like I say, I had to go live on this topic. I put out a video over 29 minutes long. Go and watch it, In the Heart of Nature. But I said this is a very important topic because a lot of people are dealing with jealous friends, envious friends. And I told you, the people who did this, they were 3 girls who beat her up, allegedly. Right? And that's why I told you. You have to be aware. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Demons live inside men and women. Demons live inside men and women. So don't just say, oh, she's a woman, she can't do anything. Are you crazy? Did you see that video? It was terrible. So we've got to remind ourselves, deep divers, to really spot a fake, to really spot a fake friend. To really spot a fake friend, a frenemy. It is someone who laughs in your face, but they talk behind your back. If you know people right now like that, they smile in your face, but they talk behind your back. These are frenemies. Now, the question is, does Ralph Smart have frenemies? Deep divers, let's talk about it. See, I've been making videos for a long time. I got a lot of stories to tell about friends and frenemies. Casey Lynn, you are appreciated. Deep divers, let's give thanks and appreciation. We're going hard here. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that super chat. Give thanks, deep divers. Casey Lynn, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. So, shout out to everybody who's here, everybody who's diving deep. So, that's the question. Does Ralph Smart have frenemies? What do you think, deep divers? What do you think? Well, I can tell you. Of course. And it happened actually over 10 years ago. Because I was diving deep. You see, that's the thing. I had big dreams. I'm a dreamer. And I'm a visionary. And I said, if they can live that life, I can live it too. I'm talking about the life of infinite abundance. Anytime you have a big dream, anytime you want to do something big, it's like putting sugar on the floor and the ants come to find it. Everybody who is manifesting big will have a frenemy. Everybody who is thinking about financial freedom, generational wealth for their children, their great-great-grandchildren, will have a frenemy. Because you see, like I told you, there's these 2 forces in the universe. One of elevation and one of a great descent. You see, the great paradox is people who aren't doing anything with their life have a whole lot of time on their hands. What am I talking about? People who aren't doing anything in their life have a whole lot of time on their hands. Perfect candidate for a frenemy, for a fake friend. People who aren't doing anything with their life have a whole lot of time on their hands. And this is how a frenemy is birthed. A lot of idle people who have chosen not to work hard because they're lazy, who have chosen not to start their business because they're lazy, will look at someone else who who is a success and be jealous and envious of her because she has 2 businesses, they have none, and they don't love themselves either. So when you are around people who have hate in their heart, who don't love themselves, they are naturally a frenemy. If I don't love me, how am I going to love you? If I don't love me, how am I going to love you? And to spot frenemies, you have to be aware of people who don't love themselves, people who hate themselves, people who have nothing to lose. Stay away from these kinds of people. The reason is because they don't know themselves. They don't know what they will do. They don't know what they would do if push comes to shove, because they're still learning about themselves. I'm a criminologist. I'm an actual criminologist. So this is what I do. And I'm a psychologist as well. And the reason why people commit crimes is because of lack. They think they're lacking something. When someone steals something, it's because I don't have it, so I need to get it. That's why people steal things, because it's coming from a poverty mindset. If you already have, you don't need to steal. If you don't have, and if you have a low self-esteem, if you have a low confidence level, you will think that the only way for me to get something is by robbing someone else, stealing from them, lying to them, killing them. And these are how frenemies are created, because it's people who don't see that they too can work hard. See, this is one of the things, deep divers, I always tell you, show gratitude, because the more grateful you are, the less likely you will become a frenemy. What am I talking about? If you work hard, make an honest living, and that's why I always tell you, if you have a regular job, that's okay. If you are a postwoman, a postman, a nurse, a teacher, that's okay. If you're going to college, that's okay. If you're going to university, that's okay. The reason why it's okay is because you're finding a way out. Right? You're finding a way out. And that's okay. It's better than saying, you know what? I'm not going to work hard. I'm going to see someone else and take their success. That's what happened. And we see this story time and time again in your own life. Take a look. You have people who don't want to get up and work. You're working 12 hours a day. They're never working. So what do you think is happening when they're not working? They've got a whole lot of time on their hands, and they become idle. They become self-loathing. They become frustrated. And that's the reason why I told you, surround yourself with hard workers and people who are making an honest living. Surround yourself with hard workers, because hard workers have something to lose. If you are around people who are very hard working people, they've got a lot to lose. They don't have time for foolishness to start beating someone up. They don't have time for that, because they're focused on where they need to be. These are the kinds of people you want in your life. Someone who's working 40 hours a week. someone who's working 50 hours a week, someone who's providing for their 3 children. These are the people you want around you because they have something to lose. This is the psychology of frenemies. If you are around people who have nothing to lose, no family, no purpose, nothing, these are dangerous people. These are dangerous people. These are dangerous people. And this is why I always tell you, you want to remind yourself to surround yourself with people who are making an honest living. Teachers, nurses, they're not taking the easy way out. They're working hard to pay their bills. They're making an honest living. Some people don't want to work. Some people don't want to work. Some people don't want to put in the work. They want it handed to them. These are the frenemies. Ever known someone like that, deep divers? Growing up, I knew someone like that. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Smash that like button once again. Hit that super chat. Smash that like button. Hit that super chat. Growing up, I knew someone like that. And this person shout out to everyone who's here. I knew someone like that. And they always had time. And I said, gosh, why does this person have so much time on their hands? And guess what? They never had a job in their entire life. They never worked a day in their life. And I said, I see. And this person was hungry. This person was hungry because they wanted what you had, but they didn't want to work for it. They would say to me, Ralph, I want that. I want this. And I'm like, go and get a job. Go and do some work. They're like, I don't want to get a job. And these are the frenemies you have to be aware of. People who don't want to work. People who want something for nothing. People who don't want to make an honest living. These are the people who end up becoming frenemies. This is the psychology of it. I'm a psychologist. I'm a criminologist. People who want to take the shortcut in life become frenemies. They want to flex on the gram. Hey, look at me. I'm so cool. These are the people you better watch out for. If someone has never worked a day in their life, they don't know the value of anything. They don't know the value of anything. England Brown, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here as well. That's to the frenemies, right? But shout out to everyone who's here. That's to all the wonderful deep divers. Oh, we're having fun. We just dive straight into it, deep divers. England Brown, you are appreciated. Wallace D. Wattle said, you must get rid of the thought of competition. You are to create, not to compete for what is already created. Hey, I like that. I like that. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here. I appreciate that. And like I say, deep divers, I had to go in on this topic because it's a topic a story which really touched me to say, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But I had to say, okay, let's find out how to spot these frenemies. Let's find out how to protect ourselves from these kinds of people. It's not just, this is an extreme case, but it's happening in your life right now as I'm speaking. There's someone at your workplace who's a frenemy. You might think, hey, we're cool. But actually, they don't like you. They've never liked you. And they will never like you. Why? Because they don't like themselves. You see, I told you, how people treat you has got nothing to do with you. It's got everything to do with them. Shout out to everyone who's here. Studio H, you are appreciated. I appreciate that. Studio H, shout out to you. Thank you. Frenemies lack the most important part of life. They always look around to check to see who has more than themselves. Oh, they feel lack all the time. Oh my gosh. Got a Don DeMarco right there, because that's so true. Let me repeat that, deep divers. Frenemies lack the most important part of life. They always look around to check to see who has more than them. Oh, they feel lack all the time. You just hit it on the head. Studio H, like, thank you so much. Because you just explained frenemies very well. And that's so true. And that's the reason why every single day we have to remind ourselves to protect ourselves, protect your energy. Not everyone is worthy to be in your presence. Not everyone deserves to be in your company. Surround yourself with people who have something to lose. You know the reason why, deep divers? Beyonce married Jay-Z? Why billionaires marry billionaires? Do you know why? Do you know why celebrities date other celebrities? Do you know why, deep divers? Do you know why this happens? Susan M, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Do you know why this happens, deep divers? Do you know why people marry within their circle? Shout out to everyone who's here. Success Wavelength, thank you. It's not security. It's because each one has something to lose. So if I'm highly successful, you want to marry and meet someone who is on the same level as you. The reason why is because the other person has something to lose. This is the reason why they do it. This is the reason why the royal family, they marry other wealthy people. The reason why is because they got something to lose. So it's the law of the universe, how it works. Surround yourself with people who have something to lose. These people left Shanquella allegedly in the room, and they went back to North Carolina like nothing had happened. Like it was another day. They left her there. Why did they leave her there? Why did they leave her there? Because they had nothing to lose. Nobody was checking for them. Nobody even knows who these people are until people started to post these videos. What if it was the queen that did this? What if it was somebody who had a lot to lose? They wouldn't do it. They'll think twice before they do it because they'll be like, oh my gosh, I got something to lose. What if it was someone who had 3 children, a woman who had 3 children, married, all of this stuff? She's not going to do that because she's got something to lose. And that's why I always tell you, surround yourself with people who have something to lose. Because this is how you protect your energy. You want to be around people who love life, not with people who hate life. They got nothing to lose. They're going down, they'll take you down with them. So when we talk of this whole concept of frenemies, the psychology is to realize that hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. And you have to remind yourself, a lot of people, how they treat you has got nothing to do with you. How they treated Shanquella wasn't about her. It was about how these people felt about themselves. They didn't feel good about themselves. She was outshining them. They had a low self-esteem, low confidence level. They couldn't take it. And when you can't take it, this is what happens. And that's why I told you. How people treat you is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. Right? How people treat you is a direct reflection about how they feel about themselves. And that's the reason why you've got to remind yourself. People need healing. People need healing. People need counseling. People need healing. People need counseling. They need to remind themselves that actually, I need to go to therapy. And that's the whole thing. Like I told you, when I was in university, University of Westminster, Central London, we're talking, I graduated in 2006. I went to university at 17 years old. And when I was in university, I was going through a very hard time. Like, gosh, you know, this is hard right now because I'm so young and this is a new place. And there was a therapist there and she was giving counseling lessons, right? The paradox is I was studying psychology, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go to her therapy sessions. And you know what? It was the most amazing time ever because I got to learn about me. And that's why I always tell you, if you don't do that, you're going to remind yourself, you got to remind yourself that there's a lot of shadow work that people have to do. And this is what happened. This is why these people committed this horrendous act, because they didn't do the work. They didn't go to therapy. They didn't seek to know about themselves, because I always tell you, a lot of people need deep healing. People need to heal themselves. I had to heal myself. I'm still healing myself, but because I'm doing this work, I'm very aware of the human psyche, the mind, and I'm aware that people, you could be laughing with them one day, the next day, they want to take you out of here. Because a lot of people have trauma, which is unhealed. They're not investing to say, wait a minute, let me go to therapy. Let me get a counselor. Let me call Ralph Smart, the psychologist who's inspiring millions, before I do something stupid. And that's the reason why I always tell you, if you have anger issues, if you have a short temper, seek some professional help. Don't think you can do it by yourself. This, I'm sure they didn't know she was going to die. They just wanted to whoop her ass. Denajane went to all of these people. But what happened was, we've got to remind ourselves that when you don't heal the trauma, you now take your frustration out on other people. When you don't do the inner work, you now are angry. And Shanquella, unfortunately, was an innocent bystander. Her father said she was the sweetest young lady. And when she said no, that really made me realize that, oh my gosh, she doesn't even want to fight back. Her father said she's not a fighter. So that shows she's a very feminine woman. That shows she's a very feminine woman, right? It shows that she's a very feminine woman, because she didn't want to fight back with her fist. She said, you know what? I'm not going to fight. Khalil was saying, fight back. That was supposed to be our best friend. That's a frenemy. But she didn't want to fight. And unfortunately, she was outnumbered. Because you see, frenemies, the psychology of frenemies is that they don't do things by themselves. They do it with other frenemies. They conspire, right? This is the psychology of frenemies. They conspire with other frenemies to go against you. And it happens in school. People wanted to try it with me. I was the one in school, deep divers. I would always stick up for people. That's a true story. You know, I was quite muscular. I was a gentle giant, deep divers. But let me tell you this. A lot of people wanted to mess with me. Because I'm a calm Pisces, right? People always want to start things with the Pisces until they realize we're Zen masters. It's not going to happen. So I know Kung Fu. I could really get violent if I wanted to, but I was very peaceful. Someone tried me one day and they're like, oh my gosh, Ralph. And that's the thing. You got to be able to protect yourself if need be. You have to learn a martial art, jiu-jitsu, karate, kung fu, because you have to protect your energy. Sometimes that's acting out physically, just so people know not to mess with you. Because people are always going to try. How many of you deep divers have a story of going to school and people wanted to pick on you? They wanted to just test the waters to say, can I take advantage of you? Happens with a lot of girls, a lot of boys growing up. It happens in every single school in the whole entire planet. Right? People will pick on you, especially children. They're the worst. They will see, hey, how much can I make this person my slave? Right? They'll do it. And if you are someone who is very, Aaliyah, shout out to you. I love you almost as much as the tree I'm hugging. Shout out to you. You are appreciated. If you are someone who just takes it, what happens? If you are someone who just takes it, what happens? I want to hear your stories, deep divers. What happens if you don't do anything? What happens? What happened to you when you just did nothing and let them do whatever they wanted? What happened? They keep doing it. Exactly. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Shanquella. She thought she could just say no and that's enough. No, these people were psychopaths. These people were psychopaths. Because that's the thing, the psychology of the bully. When you say, when you're passive to a bully, what happens? Their ego grows bigger. They get even more wicked. When you turn the other cheek, they give you another smack. They don't care that you're saying stop. And that's why you got to meet fire with fire. You got to meet fire with fire. You got to remind yourself people are on demon time. You got to stand your ground. And that's the reason why if someone is trying to pick on you, you got to meet them with the same energy. This is no time for kumbaya. This is no time for, hey, can you stop? No. You got to stand up for yourself and be ready to fight them back. You better be ready to fight them back. I don't care who it is. You know, Shanquella was such a feminine woman. She said, Khalil said, are you going to fight back? She said, no. Real women don't want to fight like that. They don't want to fight strangers because they're not friends. They're not friends. She didn't want to fight back. But this is what happens to people who have no mercy. They had no mercy. Not only was she naked out of the shower, which is sexual assault, she was vulnerable. She had just come out of the shower and they took advantage of her, right? So this is the reason why they weren't playing fair to begin with. How to spot frenemies. Remind yourself, frenemies Shanquella Robinson, the sad tale. Condolences go out to her family, her father, her mother, people that know her. But frenemies, you could know them. And deep divers, I want you to know that people in your life right now who you say, hey, that's my best friend. That's my friend. They might be a frenemy if they show no mercy. A lot of frenemies are ruthless. Ruthless. They'll do some terrible things, just like these people right here. And like I say, they deserve to be shown because he took the video. He had no respect for life. And we've got to remind ourselves that justice will be served for Shanquella. 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 Most definitely. When we talk of frenemies, deep divers, once again, remind yourself, many people will change like the weather. Many people will change like the weather. And they can love you one day, and the next day, they don't love you. And this is what happens with frenemies. A frenemy is someone who usually is coming from your inner circle. It's never coming from the outside. You know them through a friend or whatever, but there's someone who kind of knows you. And that's the reason why you have to be careful of the people closest to you. Because it's the people closest to you that can turn into your frenemies. It's always an inside job. Majority of the times, it's always someone who knows you. And that's the ones you got to watch out for. And that's the reason why you got to know how to move. You got to know how to carry yourself. I've been here for over a decade inspiring millions of people. And people say, Ralph, gosh, you're still here looking 17. Oh, deep divers. It's because I told you I'm the chosen one. It's because I told you I'm the chosen one. It's because I told you you can't go against me because the whole entire universe is working in my favor. But I'm still human. And yes, even when I started Infinite Waters, I had a lot of bad people around me when I first started. Bad in the sense of people who knew what I was becoming. And this is how to spot frenemies. It will always start just when you're on the rise to make it. When you're there, they start to fade away. But when you're on the rise, and that's why I asked you in the beginning of the show, tell me, what do you have going for you right now? Because the more things you have going for you right now, the more you have to protect your energy. They don't want to see you get a YouTube Gold Award. They don't want to see you open up a business, have your own fashion line, your own makeup business. You become a doctor. They want you to stay down there in the dumps with them to make them feel better. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. And that's the reason why Instagram is a trap. A lot of the times you're seeing people taking selfies on Instagram. Shanquella was on Instagram saying that Khalil is my best friend. It's the guy in the orange shirt. That's my best friend. Little did she know he was a frenemy. And that's why I tell you, don't just be fooled by people taking pictures together on Instagram. Doesn't mean anything. Because you see, it's not just about taking pictures together. It's about who's really showing up in your life and who's really going to hold you down and support you when need be. Deep divers. Oh, we're on fire right now. We're on fire right now. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. And shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. I said, let me go live on this topic. One of the things we got to remind ourselves of is that this could be anybody. It could be your sister. It could be your cousin. It could be your daughter. And that's the reason why you have to remind yourself that learn from this lesson. Take a good look at your circle right now to say, wait a minute, do they deserve to be here? If they're not helping me evolve, they're a distraction. If they're not helping me evolve, they're a distraction. Take a good look around. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Everybody who's diving deep. Once again, I'm on fire. We're on fire, deep divers. Hit that like button and hit that super chat. We're going to take a break. I'll be back. Once again, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment, hit that super chat. Let me hear from you what you have to say about this topic. And let's go. Little break. Once again, deep divers, we take a short interval. We've been talking for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Straight fire. Once again, I want everybody here to hit that like button. Hit that like button and share the video. Hit that like button. Share the video. We just started, because I haven't even gone into the whole meat and potatoes of this whole topic. But hit that like button. If you support the real, if you want justice for Shanquella, hit that like button so this can get in the search engine. And support the show, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Hit that super chat and let's talk about it. So one of the things I said in today's video, and go and check it out after this, the new video as well, was that many people appear to be fine. They don't appear to be like they could do that. And that's why Tupac Shakur said, nobody knows the evil that they might do. Nobody knows the evil that they might do. If you don't know yourself, you don't have a clue what you would do. You don't have a clue what you would do. If you don't have self-discipline, self-control, you don't know what you would do. And that's the reason why anybody can do it. Anybody can have an argument, fists are thrown, Human being is very fragile. And a lot of people don't realize this. You can knock someone out and they can be in a coma and that's it. I used to work in a hospital. I saw a guy in a coma. I'm like, gosh, he'd been there for 3 months on a life support machine. It's real out here. And this is the reason why I told you. A lot of people don't know the value of life. And this is the reason why they can do terrible things. In their mind, they don't know what they're doing because they don't know that actually a human body is very fragile. You can hit someone like this and that's it. Right? That's it. You can smack someone, they can hit their head on something and that's it. So we have to remind ourselves the human body is very delicate. The human body, the anatomy, if you're a doctor, you know what I'm talking about, is very fragile. You can poke someone in the eye and that could be it. They could be blind for 10 years. They might need a whole operation, all of that. So when you take a look at this case, they didn't know that the human body is fragile. They didn't know that you could actually break someone's neck. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know about the anatomy of the human body? Do you know how fragile a human body is? And that's the thing. When you don't know, you are ignorant. Ignorance is the opposite of knowledge. And that's the reason why if you are in any altercation, deep divers, with so-called friends even, don't resort to fighting. Because like I tell you, even if you're in an argument if you're driving somewhere and a driver is beeping, right? Sometimes you get into your emotions. You want to get out of the car and say, hey, let's fight. But you got to be very careful because in that moment, you're not using your neocortex. You're using your reptilian brainstem. And this is what was happening with these people. They were so caught up in the moment, they forgot about how precious life is. Shanquella Robinson, a superstar, they forgot about how precious life is. Because they were in the heat of the moment. They were in the fight or flight. They were in the ego. But you see, when things arise in you which make you angry, you lose common sense. And that's why never make a permanent decision with a temporary emotion. Never make a permanent decision with a temporary emotion. Don't make a decision when you're angry. Don't make a decision when you're frustrated because you are acting from your reptilian brainstem. And this is what happens. You can do anything. And this is the reason why, deep divers, why they would tell people, meditate. When you're meditating, you're learning how to control your emotions. If someone tells you something you don't like, you say, you know what? I'm not going to react. I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm going to be the bigger woman. But if you don't know that, you're going to act. And that's what happens. When you don't know that, you're going to act because you don't have any control of your emotions. You haven't learned about your emotions. And this is the reason why we've got to do the self-work. Because any of us can turn into frenemies. Anybody can. It's a daily work of you saying, you know what? I have enough. All frenemies are coming from a place of lack. They see somebody with something and they think they can't manifest it. They saw Shanquella and they said, I can't get that. She has 2 businesses. She's doing good for herself. We're struggling. Her light is annoying. It's making us feel terrible. Once again, ignorant. And that's the reason why I tell you. Frenemies. Once again, deep divers, hit that like button. Hit that like button, share the video. Wait a second. Hit that like button, deep divers, share the video. And hit that super chat. Frenemies don't want to do the work. They don't want to make an honest living. And that's why I told you. Surround yourself with people who have something to lose. Surround yourself with people who are hard workers, who are making an honest living, who aren't cutting corners, who don't want something for nothing, who are honest with their life. These are the people you want in your life. You don't want people who don't do any work. All the time, they're just idle, doing nothing. You don't want those people around you because those people have nothing to lose. They got nothing to lose. They're not working towards any goal. They don't have any vision, any dream. And these are the people who are very dangerous because these people take a look in the mirror and they can see that they're not where they want to be. And they will look at someone like Shanquella and say, oh my gosh, she's doing something great. And I can't take it. I can't take it. Right? I can't take it. Some people can't take your success if they have chosen failure. I said, deep divers, some people, we're on the megaphone right now, deep divers. Let me talk to you on the megaphone. I said, some people cannot tolerate your success if they have chosen failure. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. We're loud on the megaphone. I hope your day is going good. Can you hit that like button, deep divers? Hit that super chat. Give thanks. Hey. Oh, we're just having fun, deep divers. So right now we got to remind ourselves, you know, it's a beautiful world, but we have to pay attention to these lessons. This is a lesson. It's an unfortunate situation, but it's not over. Because you got to remind yourself, these are stories which have also been in existence from the beginning of time. Brothers have killed each other. Sisters have killed each other. Cain and Abel, all of these things. And it emanates from a place of lack. And also, you have to be discerning. You have to realize not everyone who smiles in your face has your best interests at hand. Not everyone who says, hey, let's hang out is a true friend. I told you. My best friends didn't help me set up Infinite Waters. People who I thought were my good friends, they didn't help me do anything. Who were my best friends, deep divers? That's the question. Who were my best friends? That's the question I'm asking you. Who was Ralph Smart's best friends? Who are my best friends, deep divers? Put it in the chat. Who are my real best friends? My mentors. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm my own best friend, yes. But I'm saying when we talk of great friends, they were my mentors. These were people that were 30 years older than me, saying, hey, Ralph, you need to do this. Some were 10 years older than me. They were putting me on the right path. People around my age group, they were just saying, hey, let's go to the club. And that's what's happening in today's society. There's no guidance. There's no mentors. There's no teachers. How on earth do you think the youth can survive? They can only be on demon time. And that's the reason why this story has touched the whole world, and justice will be served for Shanquella. Justice will be served for Shanquella. Justice will be served for Shanquella. We've got to remind ourselves, those people who you think are friends, just ask yourself, how have your so-called friends helped you go to the next level? I'm talking about a whole lifestyle change. Because when I say, okay, my mentor helped me get a YouTube Gold Award, changed my entire life, helped me get a #1 best-selling book on Amazon, I can say that's a real friend. That's a real friend. But my so-called friends, who I was supposed to be great friends with, they weren't helping me doing any of that. They weren't helping me do any of that. They were distracting me. They were saying, hey, Ralph, let's spend all of our time at the club. Hey, Ralph, forget about your dream. Let's just do nothing. Let's waste time. Beware, deep divers, of people who want to waste time. I don't hang out, deep divers. I'm a grown man. Right? I don't hang out, deep divers. I don't even know what hanging out is. Let's hang out. What are you talking about? What on earth? What are we talking about here? Let's hang out. Hang out and do what? That's the question. If you aren't helping me evolve, you're a distraction. Anytime someone says, let's hang out, they better be adding some value to your life, because like I told you, that's how frenemies manifest. Let's hang out. They want to hang out because they ain't doing anything. You're doing something. Deep divers, you're going places. You don't want to hang out on the corner doing nothing. Hang out, my ass. Hang out is another word for wasting time. Hanging out is another word for wasting time. You got work to do. You hang out when you have manifested something of great value. That's when you hang out in the Caribbean on your yacht, when you've actually made it. When you're on the grind, there's no time for hanging out. We got work to do. And that's the thing. When I was first starting Infinite Waters, I realized that I got work to do. These videos aren't going to create themselves. Your work is not going to do itself. You got to work. If you're an engineer, you got to go to work. If you're a doctor, you got to go to work. You've got to do the work. There is no shortcut. But you see, some people want to take the shortcut. Some people don't want to work. They want to wake up every single day and say, hey, let's hang out. And those people who are saying, hey, let's hang out, ask yourself, deep divers, what are these people doing with their life that make them have so much time to hang out? Now, I get it. If they've already manifested, we can hang out. But if they haven't, they're a frenemy. Because that's what frenemies do. They say, let's hang out. They always want to hang out. And the reason why they want to hang out is because they aren't doing anything in their life. They've got a whole lot of time to waste, and they want to waste yours too. I said they've got a whole lot of time to waste, and they want to waste yours too. And that's the reason why I tell you, I don't hang out. When I was a teenager, I used to hang out. But now I don't hang out. When I wasn't manifesting, I used to hang out. When I started to manifest, I started to hang out with the cat down the road. Because I tapped into the secret. See, this is what my mentor taught me. He said, Ralph, you know what? All of these people on this planet have an undeniable, phenomenal potential. But you see, only the 1% will live like a true king or a true queen. Only the 1%. Jay-Z, Beyonce, they do the work. Whatever you want to say about them, Beyonce works her ass off. You can't dispute that. You can't dispute that. They do the work. That's why they're there. It's not hard to see, right? Someone who's a cardiologist, he had to go to university. He had to do 7 years of medical training, dissertations. He did the work. That's why he's earning $300,000 a year. He deserves it. He did the work. If you do the work, you get the reward. If you don't do the work, you don't get anything. And a lot of people don't want to do the work. They want the reward, though. They want the reward. They don't want to do the work. They want the handouts. They don't want to get up in the morning, though. And these are the people who become frenemies. And this whole situation is what can happen when people don't know who they are. They can see someone who has 2 businesses, who's doing well for herself. And this is the reason why you have to create a separation. When you're doing big things, when you're going places, you got to separate yourself. Not everyone can come. Not everyone can go. Not everyone is worthy to be in your presence. Because a lot of people haven't paid the cost to be the boss. A lot of people haven't paid the cost to be the boss. A lot of people have not done any work at all. At all. Poker Incognito, you are appreciated. Hit that super chat, deep divers. Shout out to everyone who's here. Have you thought about making a second channel, Ralph? You would reach to 1 mil subs fast by promoting from your channel. I'm very inspired by you. Hey, that's a great question. Actually, I do have another channel, and it's called Infinite Waters. This channel is not actually called Infinite Waters. I do have another channel called Infinite Waters. I haven't uploaded for a long time, but it has. I think it's got 19,000 followers, which is great. But definitely, I can always upload there if need be. But I like to keep it in one place. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. So this whole topic of frenemies, right? Let's really talk about it. People who claim they're your friend, but they have ulterior motives. You see, I always tell you, everything is like this, deep divers. When you're starting out on this journey, you have a lot of friends. You have a lot of people around. And that's only because you don't really know who you are or what you're here to do. But the moment you have that focus, everything becomes narrower. Everything becomes narrower. You start to lose a lot of people. They drop out of your life because there's no alignment here. We got nothing to talk about. And it's a sign that you're leveling up. When you have less friends, it's a sign that you're leveling up, because it's quality over quantity. I would rather have 5 real friends than 50 fake ones. I said I would rather have 5 real friends than 50 fake ones, right? Because a lot of people say, "Hi, I know this person, I know that person," but you don't realize that those same people you say you know, they don't know you, and they don't like you either. They want to take your place. So it's not always cool to say, "Hey, I know this person, I know that person." They don't know you, and they definitely don't like you. This is the lesson. It's always quality over quantity. Don't say, "Hey, yeah, 12 of my friends are going to Las Vegas." Right? That's not a cool thing unless you really know them, because I guarantee you there's a Judas in that 12. Right? I guarantee you there's a Judas in that 12. And that's the reason why you always want quality. You always want quality over quantity. Some people only have one friend, but they're a real friend. And that's all you need. Sometimes all you need is one good friend. That can be yourself, can be a cat, can be a dog, can be another human being. But you don't need a whole lot of people around you, because the more people you have around you, the more trouble. The more people you have around you, the more trouble. The more people you have around you, the more trouble. Because not everyone has the same heart as you, the same mind as you, and not everyone cares like you. So when we talk of frenemies, remind yourself to align yourself with people who have the same heart as you, the same mind as you, who have the same values as you. Because this is how great friendships can emerge. But if you are around people who just want to hang out, you got to take a very close look at their life to say, are we in alignment? Are we moving in the same direction? Because if you're not, you're going to get caught up. A lot of people don't make it. A lot of people don't make it. I was lucky. I nearly didn't make it. Deep divers. Shout out to everyone who's here. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. If you support the real, hit that like button. If you want justice for Shanquella Robinson, hit that like button. Justice will be served. How to spot frenemies. Deep divers, let's talk about it. So it nearly didn't happen for me. Because like I told you, before you hit 1 million subscribers, you got to walk the tightrope. Do you know what the tightrope is, deep divers? You got to walk the tightrope. And the tightrope is this. You got to get from one side to the other side. And you got to do it without socks on. And as you're walking across the tightrope, you got people either side of you saying they're trying to make you fall off. If you don't have that tunnel vision, that focus, you're never going to get to the other side. But once you make it to the other side, you become immortal. But you too, deep divers, are going to have to walk that. You're going to have to walk that tightrope like this. And the tightrope is for people who want to go to the next level. It's for people who want the better life, the good life. Happy home, happy family. Great scenery. Good food. 7-day vegan challenge. I wake up every day with broccoli in my mouth. Right? It's for people who want that good life. You're going to have to walk the tightrope. And there are people either side of you. They don't want to see you make it to the other side. They'll do anything they can to make sure you don't make it. Because they know if you have enough time, you're going to get it. You're going to get to the other side. They know if they leave you alone, you're going to become a megastar. And that's why I always tell you, it always happens in the beginning, not at the end. The frenemies come in the beginning of your great rise to success. That's when you find the frenemies. Because they can see, oh, Michelle is starting her LLC. She is starting this clothing line. Oh my gosh. And she's getting up at 6 o'clock every single day to work on her vision. We can't have that. Philip is working every single day to be a doctor. We can't have that. Because now he's going to outshine me. That's the frenemy. So it starts when they can see that you are becoming someone. And that's the reason why you have to protect your energy. You have to protect your energy every single day. Felicia, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. You have to protect your energy every single day. And deep divers, like I say, there are still great people in the world. There are still great people in the world. But a lot of people don't know who they are, and they have to learn about themselves. They have to do therapy. They have to go for counseling. And a lot of people haven't done it. And until they do it, they will be a frenemy. Until people work on themselves, they will be a frenemy. And that's the reason why, this is a powerful show, How to Spot Frenemies, in honor of Shanquella Robinson, the sad tale. But it's also a celebration of her life and a reminder that we mustn't take life for granted, because these people, they don't have any life either. These people can't go anywhere. That's why they're nowhere to be seen. They've gone off grid. So for the rest of their lives, they have no life. They're going to have to change their identity. They're going to have another name, relocate somewhere to Poland or Finland, and go undercover. And that's what happens. You see, people don't realize that doing something stupid can haunt you for the rest of your life. But it's a lesson. And, like I say, condolences to her family. And this was a powerful show. I want to shout out to everyone who's been here. And like I say, Studio H, you are appreciated. Mecca Ann, you are appreciated. Everybody who's been supporting Infinite Waters, you are truly appreciated. We're going to leave on a positive note, deep divers. Listen to this. And in life, you must follow your heart.
We live in a society where people hate their jobs. Media and wrong nutrition take away our faith in God. They changing our thoughts, how can you say this ain't a plot? And if we don't react, we can expect that our brains will rot. See, every one of us got a purpose, now go and find it. Actually, you don't have to look for it if you're open-minded. Everything's connected, but the way we live is so divided. I'm just trying to enlighten you, cause the human folk is blinded. Your thoughts are responsible for how you perceive your life. Humans got different opinions, so do what you believe is right. Religions were invented to control and to make people fight. Why should I go to church? I just talk to God if I need advice. Fuck the separation, we're supposed to be a unity. Too many shady intentions, no one cares about you and me. I became suspicious, don't even eat the food I used to eat. Don't get manipulated and be careful what you choose to be. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Look, if you wanna achieve something, you don't need massive luck. If it's something you really want, then all you need to have is guts. Your subconscious mind and thoughts are shaping your reality, so own it yourself if you ain't satisfied with your salary. See, everything you do should be done with enthusiasm. Love is important too, and do never ever lose your passion. Enjoy the moment and stay away from things you can't control, and focus on the news if you really want to expand your soul. They only show us all the negative things that happen now. The problem we have is the false knowledge that's getting passed around. All these people who control the world are really selfish beasts, making us insecure and taking away our self-esteem. I'm the only person I know who questions his existence. Maybe it's my purpose to spread the truth with explicit wisdom. I will be glad if I could make this planet a better place. And if you got the same intention, then you shouldn't hesitate. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Start to live in harmony and stop to live in doubt and fear. Find a reason to smile instead of drowning in 1,000 tears. Ask your heart for advice so you won't regret your chosen path. Everybody needs motivation, you can't be too old for that. Showing gratitude is necessary for your future goals. You need to learn from your losses, but you should never lose your hope. Satan was created by humans to make us feel afraid. They're trying to confuse us so we don't even know what's real and fake. Listen closely to your heart so no one can control your mind. Don't believe everything just cause you hear it from an older guy. Don't get me wrong, I don't say that everything you've been told's a lie, but there are a lot of people who wanna say your soul is mine. You gotta protect it, ensure that your heart is guiding you. If you follow your intuition, it's easy to find the truth. Don't let your ego hinder you from living your life in peace. You will never reach your full potential if your mind is weak. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart, deep divers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was Chaos Steve. Listen to your heart. Go and check out that phenomenal artist who sent me that song. Phenomenal song. Inspirational song. I got to listen to that every day. Listen to your heart. Deep Divers, once again, powerful show. Powerful show. You know, surround yourself with people who make you feel like sunlight, but also who have something to lose. That's the big thing. Surround yourself with people who have something to lose, who are working towards something greater than just themselves. And like I say, I do believe that the FBI have already on their case, which is a good thing. Justice will be served. Like I told you, Deep Divers, I love all of you. You're truly appreciated. And one love to everybody. I'll be back. Once again, Deep Divers, hit that like button. Leave a like. Share the video. We will going in. And one love. Let's go.